And then it's going to be a really short episode today. Okay. Hey guys, welcome to episode 32 of the Knit Now Swatch Later podcast. My name is Courtney. Today is Wednesday, January 13th, 2021. This is a knitting podcast, and I am coming to you from Pennsylvania, where I live with my husband and our 2 dogs and 2 cats. You can find me on Ravelry as Pup and on Instagram as Knit Now Swatch Later. We do have a Ravelry group for this podcast, which you can find in the links below, along with all of the shops that I talk about and links to my project pages. You can also find a link to my Etsy shop in the description box below, which is whiterosefibercompany.com. Jumping right in today, I do have one finished object, which is my Anchors cardigan. You can't see the whole thing, but I did finish it. My sleeves are a little short. I was hoping that they would block out some more, but they didn't, because that's my life. So I might actually end up ripping out, because you can see they're really short, and they're also really baggy, but I'm thinking I might actually rip back the ribbing on both sleeves and then do some rapid decreasing and then add maybe like 4 or 5 more inches to the sleeves. But we all know that it could be a while before that actually happens. So moving into works in progress, I do have since I finished one project, it only makes sense that I cast on 2 new ones, right? So first up, in one of my project bags, this is one of the older designs. I don't make them like this anymore, but I have my Felix pullover that I cast on again. You may notice that this is a completely different yarn from what I was using before, but I love this color. I thought in the store that it's really close to my eye color, so it will hopefully look okay. But this I have been loving. It just flies off the needles because you're using a size, I think this is a size 10 knitting needle, so it just goes so fast. It's air and weight yarn, and I love the raglan increasing detail on the sides of the sleeves. So the yarn that I'm using is Yarn Bee Must Be Merino Aran in the colorway Blue Smoke. It's really pretty. I got it on sale at Hobby Lobby, so I got a sweater's quantity of yarn for about 35 bucks, which is not bad for a hand-knit sweater. So there is that. And I also have in one of my bags, this one is a prototype for a bag that I'm hoping to release sometime soon, so stay tuned for that. Here is the inside. This won't be a print that I'm offering because this is just a placemat from Walmart. I just didn't want to buy a bunch of fabric if I didn't think it was going to work out, so this print won't be available, but we shall see. I still have a couple of tweaks to make and a couple of test bags to make, but those should be showing up in the shop fairly soon. But anyway, I cast on another sock for my husband. This is just a plain vanilla sock in the Barocco Comfort Sock yarn, and the colorway is Fjordland, I think. Yeah, so here's the tag. I got this from my local yarn shop. And just doing a vanilla sock, like I said. I'm working on the heel flap, which I hate working on, and that's why it takes forever, and this is usually where I abandon socks for Ben. Sorry, hun. But I have just been so focused on my Felix sweater that that's all I've wanted to work on, so I'm hoping that once I split for the sleeves, I will be able to rip my attention away from that and work on his socks a little bit more. Other than that, I don't have anything else to show as far as knitting progress goes. I do have one acquisition, which is from Holly Beth of Sassenach Yarn Company, and it came in this gorgeous bag, which I loved. I wanted to keep it all packaged up to show you guys. So here is the yarn that I ordered. It is on her worsted base, and the color is My Baby Blues. It's just a really pretty blue, and I love it. And then here, there's also a stitch marker. I don't know if you can see that, but it has like sand in it. I thought that was really cool. And then there's another one of these little bags in here, and it has her business card. I don't even have my lights on today. The sun is so bright in the window behind me where I'm filming, so things are getting blown way out. And then she also included 2 bags of tea that I'm excited to try, an orange and cinnamon spice and organic peach cobbler. I'm not a huge fan of peach, so I might just give this one to my husband, but I am a big fan of orange, so excited to try those out. Book chat, I have finished not 1 book, but 2 books since the last time I talked to you guys. I finished Unwind by Neal Shusterman, which I don't know if I talked about that last time, but the next book that I read wasn't on my list, so I'm assuming I didn't talk about it, but I don't know. So I loved Unwind. It was so good that I ordered the second book in the series, which is called Unwholly, spelled Unwholly. And while I was waiting for that one to come, I read One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus, which was also really good. I read that one in less than a week. I ripped right through it, and it was really good. The ending caught me by surprise, and that's always good in a book, in my opinion. So I recommend that one. And then I have been working on Unwholly, which is just as good as the first one. So hopefully I will have more on that for you guys next time. Moving into chat. Not a whole lot going on around here. I recently started journaling again. I have these phases of I will like write in a journal for a week, and then I don't write in it for 6 months, and then I write in it once and just fall off the wagon with that all the time. So I have consistently journaled for, what is today? 13 days. No, I started on the 3rd, so 10 days, and I've missed one. Missed 1 day so far, so not too bad. I just kind of just write to write. I don't know. There's not really like a theme. I don't decorate my journal a whole lot. I put in some stickers, but I'm not an artist, so I don't make them all fancy like a lot of other people do. So and I've also started keeping a knitting notebook at the front of my journal. I use a bullet journal, one of the Lecterm journals that you can get at Barnes & Noble for like 12 bucks. I've had it for a couple of years just sitting on a shelf, so I put it to use. And at the front of that notebook I have started a 2021 knitting journal, which was inspired by Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady podcast. I've been wanting to do something like that for a while now, but I didn't really have, I'm the type of person that really needs like a plan to do something. That's why I have so many journals just laying around my house, because I need to be told or like shown how to set up my pages and what to do with them, what to put on them. Like, that's just my personality. I don't want to ruin it, so I just have to wait to find something that I like, and I try to copy it. So Kay showed what kinds of things she's tracking in her notebook, and I decided to do the same. So I put my Anchors cardigan in as my first finished project of 2021, and I still haven't taken any finished object photos, but I just wrote down like the name of the project, the name of the yarn, and then I put the yarn label and a little scrap of the leftover yarn in there, and I wrote kind of a little bit about why I knit this project and what I thought about it, just details like that. And when I finally get around to taking finished object photos, I plan to print a picture out using I have an HP sprocket printer that I love because it came in pink. That's honestly why I ordered this one. But I really like it. It prints out pretty decent quality pictures, and there's also things you can do. You can add like frames to your pictures and different decorations, so I thought that was kind of cool. But anyway, I'm going off on a completely different tangent here. I'm planning on printing out a picture of my Anchors cardigan and putting it on the left page next to the description and the yarn and all of that stuff, to kind of keep a log of what I've finished throughout the year. So I thought that was exciting. I also have a list of reading goals in my journal, which right now it's pretty sparse because we're only 13 days into the new year, but my goal for 2021 is to read 25 books. Last year I think I read 18 maybe, so I thought I would up it to 25. So I just have a list. I have 25 check boxes going down the page, and then I wrote down, like, I finished One of Us is Lying was my first read of the year, so I wrote that one out, and then I just checked the box. And then the rest of the page, I only have like 4 or 5 more books, but I wrote out like Unwholly I wanted to read. I'm currently reading that. I wrote out Scythe and Birthmarked, The Testing, a bunch of books that you guys recommended to me on the last episode, and I just have empty check boxes next to those. But I actually just placed an order yesterday for Scythe, Birthmarked, and The Bone Witch, so I'm really excited about those to come in and to check them off on my reading goals list, and hopefully I will actually keep up with that during the year. What else? Okay, so I also have plans for a 2020 review video, which will be coming out soon. I probably am going to record it right after this one, so there's that coming to you guys soon. I will be talking about projects that I finished in 2020 and what I want to work on in 2021. So stay tuned for that, coming on my channel soon. I have a new print that I am pretty excited about. I don't know, this one might be my favorite so far. It is so pretty. And then the inside, this one's not finished yet obviously, but oh, that is getting really blown out. It's just a very light pink with white polka dots that obviously you're not going to be able to see. So there we go. A little bit. Okay. But yeah, I am really looking forward to these coming out hopefully on this Friday, so stay tuned for those. Just notions pouches and medium-sized project bags this week. I actually don't know if I'm going to keep offering the tote bags, just because they're kind of a pain to make and they're not one of my better sellers. They don't sell very quickly, so if you are interested in a tote bag, just let me know in the comments below and I will keep that in mind. Don't forget that you can use the code KNITNOWSWATCHLATER for 15% off of your total purchase. And if you're interested in keeping up with the shop, make sure that you're following me on Facebook and on Instagram for shop updates. I've got a bunch of exciting things coming this year for the shop that I can't tell you guys about quite yet, but I am super excited about them. I have at least 2 different projects that I'm thinking about right now for the shop, and hopefully lots and lots more. So I think that's everything for this time. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put out a new podcast every 2 weeks, so until next time, happy knitting. Bye!